Alrighty, hello, welcome back to another Wisco Fanatics Wednesday. We got a handful of baseball games to talk about today and a Badger football game. We are glad that Badger football is back. It feels right. This time of the year, it's a busy time of the year for us because the Brewers are getting close to the playoffs, and the Badgers football just started. If Packers football starts this weekend, which is super exciting. We've been doing a countdown on our page. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, we've been counting down by using our stat projections that we did at the end of July. And the Packers are starting on Sunday, and then we're getting close to Bucs preseason already. So
it's the most wonderful time of the year, dude.
That's what it feels like. Like this and draft time are like our most busiest times of the year. Like the September, October, where baseball, football, and NBA are all about to be going at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we're starting to think about Badgers basketball not long after that. So yeah, it's definitely a busy time for the old Wisco Fanatics show, but we are here for it and we love it.
Bro, this is our Christmas. Like the kids get Christmas when it's like shitty outside. Like this is our Christmas. Still 90, still 80 degrees outside. We still go outside, go for a nice walk at night. But this is our Christmas, dude. All the sports at one time.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually started last Friday, but we will have Friday shows now through the rest of football season. And obviously we'll still be here on Wednesdays. Fridays are just for the Packers. Wednesdays is going to be the Bucs, the Badgers, and the Brewers. So today, starting with the Brewers, we have our Brewers power pair and underrated performer. Jake, who is your power pair and underrated performer?
All right. So let's get this going here, huh? I know we had kind of a tough loss today, but we're going to bring those positive vibes back around. And we're going to start out with William Contreras. Good as always. This guy, definitely a top 3 catcher in baseball. I know I asked you last week, but in my opinion, he's definitely top 3. 7 of 24, 5 runs, only 1 double this last week, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, 4 walks, and he got his third stolen base of the season, but 1 stolen base for last week. That's a 292 average, a 393 on-base percentage, a 458 slug, and an 851 OPS. So, again, solid as always. For pitcher, you're going to be actually pretty surprised by who I picked. I didn't tell you. I took Andrew Chafin. Am I saying his name wrong? Chafin. I don't listen to the games. I tell you, I'm playing with my kids. I just watch the games, so I don't even listen.
Chafin. White guy. If he was like any sort of like Middle American or Latin American, it would probably be Chafin, but he's a big old chubby white guy with a big old mustache, so it's definitely Chafin.
So Chafin, whatever you want to call him. He had
call him mustache.
Mustache. He played 3 games this last week. He led all the bullpen with 3 innings pitched. He only gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. He had 2 Ks, and he won a game. So that's a 0 ERA and a 0.67 whip. And I know that a lot of Brewers fans have kind of been on his case, but he actually had a really solid week and starting to put some things together. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Can I give you like a comparison to how I feel about him? He's having kind of like a Tyrone Taylor-esque like bounce back. That's how I feel about it. Because like I was basically done with him.
Yep.
And now he's strung a few good appearances in a row, which I appreciate and is obviously good for the team. So I'm obviously going to continue for that, or to continue cheering for that to be the case.
Hold on real quick. Taylor, don't dodge me in Madden, bro. You're saying invite you. Don't dodge me. I'm gonna play you this weekend. We're gonna set something up, maybe Saturday night. My UP is Andrew Monasterio, 7 of 21, 1 run. He had his first career triple, which was today. 1 RBI and a walk. It's a 333 average, a 364 on base percentage, a 429 slug, and a 729 OPS. So he's just been rock solid. And the reason that I picked him for that is because of the news of Josh Donaldson getting signed, kind of putting some pressure on him, and he responded very well, in my opinion. So shout out to Monasterio.
I'm glad you brought up the Donaldson signing. That's a good mention of that for him to pick up his play when they did that.
I don't think you know who you're talking to, Taylor. You better watch your tone, bro.
All right, for my power pitcher, I went with Brandon Woodruff. We'll talk about his game that he pitched last night. We only had the one appearance this week in those 7 scoreless innings last night. But Brandon Woodruff has 3 straight quality starts. In those 3 starts, he has a 1.42 ERA. Now, since 2018, Brandon Woodruff in September and October has a 2.29 ERA, and in 122 innings pitched, he has 156 strikeouts.
It's pretty good.
So I went with Brandon Woodruff for my power pitcher. He was talked to last night. He said the biggest games, I don't know, I just like pitching in them.
Huh.
That's what you want to hear from one of the horses in the bullpen.
That guy sounds like a gamer.
He does. Yeah, Steve was echoing your feelings on the Andre Monasterio pick with the Donaldson move.
Same wavelength, Steve. I like it.
For my power position player, I went with Mark Canha. He was 2 for 3 again today. His hit streak is up to 6, and he has hits in 10 of the last 11 games. He's been on base in every game that he's played since August 16th. That is 19 straight games that he's been on base.
God damn.
So over the last week, he batted 7 for 17. That's a .412 batting average. 3 of his 7 hits were for extra bases. He had 2 doubles and a home run. He also got hit by a pitch and drew 2 walks. So his on-base percentage was .500. He was on base 10 out of 20 times and only struck out 4 times in the last week.
I mean, that's very solid.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that all day for a guy who's being paid to play for us by another team. And then for my underrated performer, I went with Carlos Santana. So I put both of the Brewers trade deadline guys in my power pair and underrated performer. Santana was 5 for 22 over the last 6 games in the last week, which is a little bit of a slump, which is a little rough, but that's what makes him an underrated performer. Somebody just looks at his stats from the last week and says, oh, he was 5 of 22. That's like a 240 batting average. He does have hits in 13 of the last 14 games.
I like
so
it.
He has been pretty solid lately. It's just cooled off a little bit since his hit streak ended. Yeah. But all in all, it's been a pretty solid bounce back from the first 10 games or so when Canha and Santana came to the Brewers, and everybody was giving them a lot of heat, and they've both rebounded to play very well. And I think for what they were acquired for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready to talk some baseball games?
I'm ready to talk some baseball games.
Okay, we're going to do that right after this special announcement.
Hey, Lou.
So I probably should have led the show off with this, but I like that we get a little bit of people in here before we make this. Jake and I were invited to do a live show at a Wisco Collect event. The guys that run it is Mike and Eric. Honestly, some of their stuff that they're doing with their Wisco Collect events reminds me of how Jake and I are trying to run our show, trying to grow it and trying to get more people in front of it. And they thought that we would be good people to appear at their event at the end of October. So October 28th, that is the day the Badgers play Ohio State, by the way. They have an event from 10 to 4. It is in Clintonville. Jake and I are going to be there. We're going to interview some vendors, and we're going to do a live Wisconsin Sports What If show. We have 4 Wisconsin sports related what if questions planned. It will be live just like the regular shows, but we'll also be in person to see if some people want to walk by and give their inputs on it. But excited to work with the guys at Wisco Collect. They seem like really cool dudes, and they actually invited Jake and I to go to the Brewer game with them on Monday. So Jake and I will be at Monday's Marlins game, just 5 rows behind the dugout. So very, very excited for that, and thankful to the guys at Wisco Collect. We're excited to be hanging out with them on Monday. They seem like cool dudes from the time that we've spent talking to them. So October 28th, mark your calendars. It's a bonus episode, and it should be a good time.
Yeah, so we will be live Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday that week. Going to be some good stuff.
And the Bucks' first game is that Thursday.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So we're going to have a Bucks primer that, probably that week. We could probably do it the day before, but yeah, it's like you said, it's our Christmas. It's all the seasons coming together right now.
Gotta love it, dude. Seriously.
Keeping us busy for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start with the first game of the Phillies series. When we get to the end of all of this week's games, I have a wild thing that I have to tell you about all the games this week. So
Now I just want to power through them.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, let's do it. But yeah, you're gonna be shocked when I tell you what the deal was with this week's games.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, I'm ready now. I don't even want to do this anymore. I just want to hear that. You son of a bitch.
Just trying to get you excited.
God damn it. Well, let's start with this game. Freddie Peralta started this one. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 10 strikeouts. I mean, what else do you expect from the guy that was a pitcher of the month, right? In August. He was pretty damn good in August, by the way.
He was amazing.
If you didn't see his total numbers and his averages, they were disgusting. I can bring them up after this game.
Yeah.
Hobie Milner, 1 inning pitched, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 K. That's what he does. Piamps gave up a home run in this one, but it's all right. It's going to happen. In the moment, I get a little irritated myself, but then, when you take a step back and you kind of evaluate things, you realize that it's going to be all right, and he's been very good for us, very consistent for us the entire year. Williams came in the 8th inning, pitched an inning and a third, so he came in the 8th inning and pitched the 9th inning to lock this one down. But Taylor got his 19th RBI. He's still been pretty good, in my opinion. He's not as hot, but he's still been pretty good. Still hitting
the ball hard.
Still hitting the ball hard. Still giving us some really quality defense. He just looks smooth when he gives us the sliding catches out in right field, man. I can't help it. I love it. And Willie Adames with a big time home run, got up to 65 RBIs and hit his 22nd homer of the year. So that's my little breakdown. We'll do the game review, and then I'll give you some Freddie Peralta August stats.
Before I go through the game, I want to answer Steve's question here. Steve asked, what does Monasterio have to do to be the guy in 2024? We can go through a long answer, but my short answer is going to be perform in the playoffs.
I would agree with that.
If he were to make the playoff roster and struggle, then I think he'll be in the mix in 2024. But if he wants to lock down the job that he has now, I think he'll have to make some impact in the playoffs.
Yeah, not just defensively either, because he has been very good lately, but he's going to have to get some big time timely hits. I'm not looking for Monasterio to crank a bunch of home runs or I'm not looking for him to be responsible for runners in scoring position, which everybody is. I understand that. But really, Monasterio, which this lineup has been very good at, by the way, just being annoying to the starters and kind of getting that pitch count up. And Monasterio is that guy that comes up a lot with 2 outs, and he'll end up with a single. And all of a sudden, it's 8 or 9 more pitches in that inning for that starting pitcher, and they get pulled early. So if Monasterio happened to Freddie Peralta today. Yeah, if he can keep having an impact like that, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But, dude, if he starts getting some RBIs along with that, he'll definitely lock it down.
Yeah. I mean, his OPS in August was pretty rough. And that's what prompted the Brewers to sign Donaldson. And now he's kind of bounced back. And Taylor asked the question that kind of ties in next to it, which is he wants them to give Brian Anderson more opportunities. And Craig Counsell said they're going to put the best players on the field that give them the best chance to win. So I don't know if it's a coach's decision to not play Brian Anderson or if there is still some lingering injury concerns with Brian Anderson having a bad back this season and in the past that have cost him games. So Brian Anderson is a guy to keep an eye on. Assuming the Brewers make the playoffs, which I'll go out on a limb and say I think is going to happen. I don't know that Brian Anderson is a lock to make the roster. Josh Donaldson was signed on the last day to be playoff roster eligible. So if Josh Donaldson starts raking in AAA, it would not shock me at all for Josh Donaldson to get the playoff spot over Brian Anderson. He's got more experience, and that was one of the reasons they brought him in.
Dude, honestly, very high IQ move, by Arnold to get Donaldson, a guy who's struggling in New York, obviously. We understand all that. But a guy who's also a former MVP, a lot of playoff experience. So you add those 2 things in there, and it's hard not to look at that and then look at what you have. And I'm not at all throwing shade at Monasterio. He's been tremendous for us. Brian Anderson had Gold Glove level defense before he got injured. But I mean, if you can have a guy that can come up there with some power and just give you some more power, and like I said, he played in some big time moments. It's going to be hard pressed to not put that on your roster, right?
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. It's a full context thing, really, and and we love Brian Anderson. Like he's done some awesome things for the Brewers this year. It's just the health is kind of unfortunate, and then just a little bit of underperformance from what you would expect from him from batting.
Yeah, just a little bit higher average, honestly.
Right. So yeah, it's not anything like us dogging Brian Anderson by any means. It's just if there's guys that are performing better, they're going to get the playing time.
Yeah. Can't let this pitching staff go to waste, man.
Yeah. All right. So all credit to Kyle Schwarber. He put a good at bat together in the top of the first inning of this game. An 8-pitch at bat, he caught a hanging breaking ball from Freddie Peralta to hit a leadoff home run. Freddie Peralta went 1-2-3 after that. In the bottom of the first inning, Carlos Santana put together a good at bat. He had a 10-pitch at bat, got a single that extended his hit streak to 10. Skipping up to the top of the third inning, Freddie Peralta had 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings of this game.
Yes, sir.
Freddie was dealing. Top of the fourth inning, 2 more strikeouts. Bottom of the fourth inning, William Contreras led off with an infield single. Trey Turner made a nice play on it to keep it in the infield. That extended William Contreras' hit streak to 11. Santana got his second hit, a single. Sal Frelick hit a rocket to center field that was caught, and then Willy Adames gets the little extra charge that Sal Frelick was missing to put the ball over the fence to make the game 3-1. That inning, so listen to the exit velocities from the Brewers in the bottom of the fourth. Not all of these were hits. Some of them were outs. Some of them were lineouts. But William Contreras' single was 109. Carlos Santana's single was 97. Sal Frelick's flyout was 97. Willy Adames' home run was 105. Rowdy Tellez's flyout was 92. And Mark Canha's single was 100.
Jesus Christ.
That was all in one inning. That's how hard the Brewers were hitting the ball against the Phillies in the first game.
Wow.
All in the fourth inning. Going to the top of the sixth, Freddie Peralta settled in very well after giving up the leadoff home run. Another 1-2-3 inning for him. He retired the final 11 batters that he faced.
Yes, sir. He was very good.
Going to the top of the eighth, Yoel Payams came in, gave up a leadoff walk and a pair of singles that made the game 3-2. Then got a strikeout and a flyout. He was done at 17 pitches. Devin Williams came in for a 4-out save, gave up a home run, which charged 2 more earned runs to Payams. That made the game 5-3. Bottom of the eighth, Andre Monasterio led off with a single. Christian Yelich hit into a fielder's choice. William Contreras hit a single to right center field, opposite field hit for him. Carlos Santana drew a walk. And then Tyrone Taylor pinch hitting for Sal Frelick, got down 1-2 in the count, drew 3 straight balls to draw a walk. The plate discipline from Tyrone Taylor is something that's been missing at times. So it was very, very good to see that from Tyrone Taylor in a clutch moment for him to be put in for Sal Frelick at a time like that, a high pressure situation, and for him to be down in the count 1-2 and to come back and draw a walk from that is great stuff from Tyrone Taylor.
I agree.
That made the game 5-4. The Phillies brought in a new pitcher. Willy Adames struck out, and then Owen Miller pulled one to the third baseman. The ball got under his glove while he was trying to backhand it. All 3 runners scored, including Tyrone Taylor with one of the best slides of the season, and produced one of probably the best photo of the season of William Contreras and the umpire doing the safe motion at the same time. Fantastic picture. If you haven't seen it, it's on our Facebook page with William Contreras standing on home plate, saluting the sky with a shadow. Those 2 pictures, amazing pictures from the Brewers season.
What one do you think is better?
Oh, man, I like them both so much, and they both have William Contreras in them, which I think it really just speaks to the season.
Yeah, I'm leaning, and I don't want this to be recency bias because I don't think it is, but I'm really leaning towards the one with the ump, dude.
That seems to be the prevailing opinion on the 2 pictures.
They both have their arms out. Like you still got Tyrone sliding on the ground. I mean, you think about the moment that happened. I mean, it's a pretty great picture, honestly.
Somebody said it on the post too. They were like, Contreras and the umpire are twins, And then you look at them, like they're both obviously doing the safe motion, and the umpire's got his mask in his left hand, and Contreras has a bat in his left hand. So they're both holding something in their left hand with their right hand out. That's an amazing picture.
Yeah,
I think that came from the Associated Press. Credit to them. That's an amazing picture.
Yeah, it is. That's tough.
So Tyrone Taylor scored on that error. Safe at home, made the game 7-5. Joey Weimer did draw a walk after that, but that was it for that inning. Devin Williams came back out for the ninth. Got a strikeout, a fly out, and a ground out to end the game. So Devin Williams actually gets a blown save and a win for this game. It's kind of a weird thing, but I mean, I'm sure he'll take it.
The Brewers won, so
the Brewers won. Yeah. So what's up, Tim? So the Phillies, the error cost them the game in this situation. The Phillies are 26th in Major League Baseball in defensive runs saved.
Eek.
Yeah. So Brewers very good in that category. Phillies struggling it. My opinion, I would have given Payamps the benefit of the doubt in the 8th inning. I would have let Payamps finish the 8th inning, and I know it's a really nitpicky thing, and like Craig Counsell has my full trust in any situation. Yeah. But just me personally, I would have let Payamps finish the 8th. He was only at 17 pitches. Let him try to get out of the jam that he was in.
I agree with that.
Carlos Santana was on base all 3 times that he was up. He had the walk and 2 singles. Philadelphia had 6 base runners. 5 of them scored.
Wow.
But Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Nick Castellanos were 2 for 16 in this game.
Ugh.
So Santana, his hit streak got to 10. Contreras is to 11. Freddie Peralta, 15 straight appearances with 5 or more strikeouts. That ended today, but talking about game 1, that streak led Major League Baseball, is now done. 7 straight wins for Freddie Peralta. Back-to-back starts with 7 swing and misses on change-ups.
Wow. So
we talked about Freddie Peralta kind of forcing the change-up in the first half of the season. Second half of the season, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
This was Freddie Peralta's 6th double-digit strikeout game of 2023. In this game, going back, he had a 1.71 ERA in his last 7 starts. And then I just want to talk about William Contreras.
Okay. Can I get my Freddie stats real quick?
I'm still on the same. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Do Freddie. I was just talking about Freddie. Talk about Freddie.
Okay. Just to kind of keep it all in one thing here, but
yep.
His stats for the month of August, where he won NL Pitcher of the Month, he had a 5-0 record, a 2.10 ERA. He had 13.8 K per 9, which is disgusting, and a 0.90 WHIP.
Damn.
Imagine a whole season of that, dude.
Oh, you just like hand him the Cy Young.
For real, dude.
So
yeah,
yeah, he's been amazing, and even today, not bad.
No.
2 things I want to say about William Contreras before we talk about game 2. 1, he is the first player since Christian Yelich in 2018 to have 3 double-digit hit streaks in the same season.
Holy shit.
And the other thing, he just looks like he's having a great fucking time being a Brewer.
He does, dude.
I can't, he doesn't post on social media a lot, but just watching him play, watching him interact with his teammates and things like that, like William Contreras just looks like he's happy to be here, and I fucking love that from him. So yeah. I wanted to call that out and appreciate it.
I told Chantel if I ever got another Brewers jersey, it would have to be Contreras, dude. Like, he's a stud.
You don't want a Willie Peralta jersey?
What's that?
I said you don't want a Willie Peralta jersey?
No Willie Peralta jerseys.
Yeah, Contreras, he just looks like he's having a great time being here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, what stood out to you from game 2?
Well, we found out who the pitcher was because it was a mystery last Wednesday when we were talking about it, and it was Colin Ray. And I actually liked that decision. They only let him go 4 1/3. I thought he could have went a little bit longer, but 4 1/3, 3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, and 6 Ks. This game was on FS1, by the way. So
Yep.
the state of Wisconsin owned FS1 for about 6 hours. So that was tremendous. Chafing, I'm going to call him Chafing forever now. Chafing had an inning pitch, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and a K. Trevor McGill, he had an earned run, but dude, he's been striking everybody out.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So inning and 2/3, he had 5 Ks, 1 walk, and an earned run. Hopi Milner faced his one guy. They use him like that every once in a while. And then Council will throw him out there and be like, throw 2 innings for us. And I'm just like, whatever. I'll take any Hopi Milner I can get because I love that guy.
Yeah.
Elvis Figueroa, only 2 hits in his 2/3 of an inning pitched. And Devin Williams was gave up a run, but 1 walk, 1 K. But he was Devin Williams. Love Devin Williams. He would be a jersey I would get too if we could re-sign him to a long-term deal. RBIs in this one was Santana with 2. He's up to 70 now. Yelly, 69. Nice. Canna, 45. Taylor up to 20. And Terang got 2 of them. He's up to 31 now. Santana had a home run in this game, obviously. Yelly, Canna, Taylor, and Terang all had 2 out RBIs. And runners in scoring position, the Brewers were 5 for 8.
Nice.
No secret why they won this game, right?
That's amazing. That's not even nice. That's amazing. 5 of 8.
5 of 8.
That's rock star level.
I agree. That's nuts. 5 of 8, dude.
Yeah. So again, same thing as the day before. Schwarber got ahead in the count, and then back-to-back days led off the game with a home run. Trey Turner followed out with the first pitch single, stole second, but Colin Ray got Bryce Harper to pop up, struck out Castellanos, and then William Contreras almost caught Trey Turner at third base, but then Ray got a fly out to end the inning. Into the top of the second, the Phillies went strikeout looking, solo home run, fly out, strikeout. So pretty clean inning from Colin Ray there. Bottom of the second, Mark Canna with a 1-out ground rule double. Bryce Terang followed with a single to left center. So an opposite field for Bryce Terang. If Bryce Terang can find some opposite field ability, that would be huge for him.
He would become a very good baseball player.
Yeah. So he followed up with a single to left center and make the game 2-1. With 2 outs, Bryce Terang stole second base, and then Tyrone Taylor on a 2-2 pitch rips a double over Schwarber's head, made the game 2-2. Christian Yelich on a 3-2 count slaps a single to left. Tyrone Taylor scores that made the game 3-2. That's Christian Yelich's 69th RBI that you brought up. Christian Yelich got to second base on the throw, and that was it. Top of the third, a 1-2-3 inning for Colin Ray with 2 strikeouts. Ray had 12 swing and misses through 3 innings.
Damn.
So he's got strikeout stuff. He's got the capability for it.
That's why I don't understand why they didn't let him go a little longer, but whatever.
I agree with pulling him when they did. You don't want to have to try to force him to go through the third innings.
Yeah,
and pretty much any time Council has pulled a starter this year, I've been okay with it.
Yeah,
because I'd rather have you pull him a half an inning early than half an inning too late.
Yeah, we see what happens when the Facebook comments go crazy.
Foreshadowing on that, by the way.
Yeah, yep.
So top of the fourth, 1-2-3 inning for Colin Ray again, including his 6th strikeout of the game. Bottom of the fourth, Mark Canna had a good at bat to start the 4th inning, an 8-pitch leadoff walk. Bryce Terang should have walked 2, but was called out on strike 3. Andre Monasterio followed with a single up the middle, and then Tyrone Taylor grounded into a double play, which would have produced a run if Bryce Terang hadn't gotten called out on a bad pitch. But top of the 5th, Colin Ray gets the first out. Sal Frelick made a jumping catch on a deep liner, and then Chafin came in with 3 straight lefties coming up to bat. That's why I think Colin Ray was pulled.
I agree.
A bunch of lefties coming up.
Yep.
So Chafin got a ground out and a strikeout to end the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, William Contreras had a 1-out double down the left field line. Extended his hitting streak to 12. Santana followed his by extending his hitting streak with a home run to the Toyota territory. John Smoltz talked about this with Carlos Santana about seeing everything a pitcher has and how that can benefit you. So when we talk about the Brewers seeing tons of pitches and going deep into at-bats, they're essentially getting to see as many pitches as the pitcher is going to throw to you, and you're getting to try to see basically all of his arsenal in one at-bat.
Yep. Arm speed, arm angle, spin on the ball.
Right.
All that.
The release point, too, is one of those things where, like, sometimes guys have higher or lower release points with different pitches.
Yep.
That's what can help guys identify pitches at the plate. So I am actually glad he brought that up, so I had to put that in my notes. Carlos Santana proved him right on a 3-2 count. That made the game 5-2 Brewers. Right after that, Willie Adames worked a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs, and Aaron Nola was done after Mark Canha put a double in the right center gap. That made the game 6-2.
Nice.
Bryce Terang followed with a single, scored Canha. That made the game 7-2. And then a ball fell into left field in front of Schwarber. Andre Monasterio gets credit for a single, kind of a no man's land situation. Bryce Terang got to third, and they ended up stranded there, first and third. Top of the 6th, Chafin gets the first out. Schwarber popped up, and then Trevor McGill came in. Trey Turner puts one on the first pitch right into the beer pen. Made the game 7-3, but then followed with 2 strikeouts against Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, for Trevor McGill to come in, and like I talked about this during the Padres series about like 1, 2, 3 batters to face in a row, any combination of the first 4 batters in the Phillies order is among those.
Yeah, Trey Turner's really good. Bryce Harper, obviously stud.
Multiple
And
MVPs.
Castellanos, he can get hot, man. He's got power, opposite field power.
Yeah.
Big, strong guy.
Yeah, and Schwarber as their leadoff hitter. So
if Schwarber wasn't batting 180, I would agree with you, but that guy just cranks homers.
I was going to say, he's still got like 35 homers.
He's got 39.
Okay. Even better for him.
Yeah.
That batting average sucks, but I mean, you basically know if he's getting a hit, it's going over the fence, I guess.
He's not even good on defense, dude. He has like a fucking paper-thin vertical, but the guy just hits home runs. That's all I want Rowdy to do. Like, Rowdy, you can be average on defense. You can bat your 220. Just give me some home runs. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back at the top of the 7th, Trevor McGill came back out. The 7th inning went strikeout, double, strikeout, walk, strikeout. So Trevor McGill, like you said, he pitched an inning in 2/3. All 5 of the outs that he recorded were all strikeouts.
I know. It's so stupid.
Holby Miller pitched the top of the 8th, gives up a walk to Schwarber, gets a fielder's choice from Turner. Bryce Harper reached on an error, which made runners at second and third. Elvis Peguero came in. Phillies got a sac fly, made the game 7-4, and then Bryce Turner made a nice play on a grounder to end the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, Andre Monasterio got his 3rd hit of the game, so good for him. Top of the 9th, Devin Williams comes in, gets a fly out. Real Muto hits a single, gives up a walk, gets a ground out, and then Kyle Schwarber hits a 106-mile-an-hour ground ball at Bryce Terang. That's a hard ball to handle, coming that hot off the bat. He knocked it down. That did save a second run from scoring. Made the game 7-5, and then not Bryce. Devin Williams versus Trey Turner gets to a 3-2 count. Devin Williams strikes him out. That was just a really exciting baseball at bat to watch.
A day after Trey Turner hit a home run off him, by the way, and he talked about that.
Yep.
The following day when we were on Peacock, he got interviewed, and Pitching Ninja was on there as well. So
yeah, that was cool.
Pitching Ninja was talking about Devin Williams' changeup, saying that he thinks that he has the best changeup in baseball history.
Ooh.
Yeah. He had a numero uno.
Damn, that's interesting.
He had like Pedro Martinez on there. Who else was on it? Trevor Hoffman was on there. He had a good changeup. He was number 2, I think. Another former Brewer there. But yeah, there was 5 guys. There was 2 people tied at 5th. I remember that. But yeah, he said Devin Williams has the best changeup in baseball history.
That's interesting. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, love that.
So Colin Ray pitched 4 1/3 innings, got 6 strikeouts, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, no walks, 14 whiffs.
That's pretty damn good from a guy out of nowhere.
That's a very solid, serviceable start.
I agree.
Chafin bounced back. 7 of the 9 starters had at least 1 hit. 8 of the 9 starters were on base. Contreras and Santana extended their hitting streaks. Brewers made Aaron Nola work. Aaron Nola only got through 4 2/3 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. The Brewers had scored 5 runs total in their last 4 matchups against Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I was a little worried about Nola and Zach Wheeler, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they needed to rock him. That's really good for them. That was their 8th straight win at home, averaging over 7 runs a game in those 8 wins. And then this also gave the Brewers a series win over the Phillies. So if for some reason the Brewers were to end up in the wild card race, they do have a tiebreaker over the Phillies, which does benefit them a little bit.
Good.
Also in those 8 games, those 8 home games that they won straight, the Brewers batted around in 5 innings during those 8 games. So that's cool. All right, let's go to game 3.
So Wade Miley started this one, and he was absolutely dominating them until he hit a wall. Like quite literally hit a wall. Still gave us 6 1/3. This is the 9th time this season that Wade Miley has gone at least 6 innings. So it's good that he's eating innings for us. 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Like I said, he was dominating. This is just the total stats. Uribe gave us 2/3 of an inning. He came in for Miley. Gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 0 earned runs, and had a strikeout as well. Chafin, 1 inning pitched, 1 walk, 0 earned runs, 0 Ks. So he did his job. And Bryce Wilson, the Mr. Underrated this year, in my opinion. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, no earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. I mean, the guy is pretty damn solid. He'll have a bad outing every once in a while, but for the most part, he's been pretty damn good. Contreras and Canna had the RBIs in this one. They both had home runs. Canna's just got over the wall. And I want to talk about the Peacock showing, because everybody was crying about it. First of all, I thought that was hilarious. It's like, dude, cost $6. Like, you're really that cheap? But anyways, like you'll go out to eat with your freaking husband or wife, and you'll spend $60, no problem. But you won't spend $6. Like, come on, man. You spend $12 to park, at the admission parking, but whatever. All right. But anyways, I love that the umpire had a little camera on top of his helmet, and you got the view of the batter box when the pitch was coming.
If the umpire would stand fucking still, I would like that. I feel like I was gonna get motion sickness watching that view. I'm just like, I feel like I'm on a fucking boat in the middle of the ocean right now.
I thought it was pretty sweet. And then I like that they had one guy from the Phillies and one guy from the Brewers. We have Bill Schroeder representing us. I thought that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that aspect of it.
You get like both sides. Plus, they work well off each other, I think.
Multiple perspectives.
Yeah, they're kind of giving credit to, they're obviously they're going to be more knowledgeable about their own team, but
right.
They're giving credit to each other's team too. So I thought that was pretty fucking awesome.
I do like that.
That was my main takeaway, really. I mean, I know the Brewers lost, but I thought the Peacock showing was very good. And Peacock's going to get some football games coming up here. So if Peacock can start, showing some good games, having some good broadcasts, I think that'd be pretty sick, actually.
Yeah. It's exciting. And with the way that Amazon is doing some of their stuff, it's exciting as somebody who has a Wisconsin sports show that they're looking to integrate who fans want to hear from, as sports media continues to evolve. So I will say that it is cool, and it gives hope for us to potentially get even bigger than we hope to.
Dude, if Amazon does all that stuff, like that video that we saw, oh baby,
that'd be so cool.
Thursday Night Football would officially be back.
That'd be amazing. That'd be so cool if it was something that we could do. Just throwing that out there.
That was
Amazon, if you're watching, hit us up.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
So bottom of the first inning, William Contreras hit a 1-out solo shot, made the game 1-0, extended his hitting streak to 13.
Mm-hmm.
Brewers did get a pair of 2-out base runners, and that was it for the first inning. Top of the second, Wade Miley got a second 1-2-3 inning capped by a Tyrone Taylor sliding catch, which you said you like to bring up. Wade Miley had 21 pitches. That was fewer pitches through 2 innings than Suarez, the Phillies starter, had through 1. He had 26.
Yikes.
So Wade Miley, very efficient.
Yes.
Top of the third inning, a 1-out walk is the first base runner, and he was instantly picked off before Wade Miley even threw another pitch. So it was kind of a 1-2-3 inning for Wade Miley. Bottom of the third, that's the home run that you mentioned with Mark Canha, a solo shot that snuck over the wall, made the game 2-0.
Yep.
Santana followed with an infield single that extended his hit streak to 12. 2 walks followed, and then the Brewers stranded the bases loaded. Top of the fourth, another 1-2-3 clean inning for Wade Miley. He was at 46 pitches through 4. The Brewers went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth. That was the first time of the game that they went 1-2-3. Top of the fifth, a 2-out hit by pitch was only the second base runner of the game, and then a hot grounder ended that inning. Still was 0 hits through 5 innings. Now, top of the sixth, a 2-out walk and a single was the first hit, followed by a double was the first run of the game. A ground out to end that inning. This is where I think Wade Miley should have been done. If Wade Miley pitches 6 innings and gives up 1 earned run, you turn the ball over to the law firm of Peguero, Piams, and Williams, and you say, thank you, Wade Miley, for giving us 6 innings of 1-run ball.
I agree with that.
And I understand with Craig Counsell trying to lengthen the leash because guys like that, have earned it. But this is where it seems like a change in philosophy, kind of going against the philosophy of Counsell, usually pulling guys a little bit early instead of a little bit late.
Yeah. He tries to be a little bit too player friendly sometimes, I think. I'm sure they had conversation, but he's got to be the manager in that situation and be like, listen, man, you gave us 6
wins is more important.
It was a great outing. Save your arm for the next one. Rest up. Let's go get this one.
Yeah. So Miley was only at 74 pitches. That's why he came back out for the 7th. Yeah. Bohm got ahead 2-1, hit a solo leadoff shot that tied the game at 2. Real Muto on a 1-0 count. Miley threw a cutter basically down the middle, and Real Muto put it over the fence, made the game 3-2. Miley followed with a 3-pitch strikeout and a 6-pitch walk, and he was done at 6 1/3. Abner came in, got a fielder's choice, gave up a walk, and then a single by Trey Turner made the game 4-2. Wade Miley got charged that earned run. I don't know why. Miley was charged with a 4th earned run. The run that scored was the fielder's choice that Abner Uribe gave up, so it should have been 3 earned runs for Miley and 1 for Uribe, but it is what it is.
I remember you saying that. That's why I said the 4 earned runs.
That's weird. I don't get it, but whatever. Top of the 7th, or bottom of the 7th, sorry. Owen Miller and Mark Canha both had walks to start the 7th. William Contreras hits a 393-foot, 102-mile-an-hour exit velocity fly out.
God, I was so pissed. I was like, come on!
Yeah. Owen Miller did tag to get to third base. Santana struck out. Mark Canha took second. And then Willie Adames pops up to end the threat of the 7th. You mentioned Chafin gave up a 2-out walk, but a good appearance for him other than that. And then top of the 9th, Bryce Wilson gave up a leadoff double. The Phillies tried to bunt him over, but then went walk, fly out, strikeout. So trying to play for 1 run just did not benefit them. And then bottom of the 9th, a 1-out single by Canha was the only noise. Mark Canha was 2 for 4 as the leadoff hitter and also drew a walk. Caratini did have 2 hits. I do want to give credit to Andrew Chafin and Bryce Wilson for making decent appearances. Contreras and Santana extended their hitting streaks, but the Brewers left 10 on base and were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
So Philly series, I'll take 2 out of 3 from a team that's going to be a playoff team and a good offensive team. I will take 2 of 3 from the Phillies.
I will as well. Home cooking is always a good thing as well. So
for sure. Brewers only have 2 road trips left this season, and they're on one of them right now.
Yep.
So the Brewers play a lot of home games the rest of the season.
That's good because they're real good at home lately.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Monday's game.
Ugh, Monday's game was so annoying.
Yeah, it was weird.
So Burns started that one. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks for the entire pitching staff. So good job, boys. 7 Ks. Milner, 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 2 Ks, no earned runs. And Bryce Wilson, 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, and 1 K. Caratini had got an RBI up to 20. He also got his 3rd double of the season. And Terang got his 32nd RBI of the season. The Brewers are 1 for 6 in runners in scoring position in this one. So they didn't get much better. Just couldn't get the big hits. They've been, and obviously I'm foreshadowing right here too, but when they get those big innings, it seems to kind of put a jolt of electricity and confidence and all that stuff. And they had opportunities in this one, in my opinion, to get some big innings, but they couldn't capitalize.
I get that William Contreras has been amazing for the Brewers, but the Brewers don't feel like they're a superstar and a bunch of guys. The Brewers truly feel like everything they do goes as a team. Like as one goes, everybody goes. As everybody goes, the one goes. Like they're all just really cohesive, which makes them an amazing team to watch sometimes, but it also makes them like a really big struggle, which is, I think, what ultimately like irks fans a lot.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make for exciting baseball through the rest of September and October.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you don't like this Brewers team, do not start watching on Sunday, because that is exactly what you're going to get this entire year.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to any other opinions. We could have 6 wins. We could have 11 wins. We could have 9 wins. Either fucking way, it's going like this. I promise.
I truly believe there are scenarios that lead the Brewers or the Packers to winning 3 games, and there are pathways for the Packers to win like 12.
I 100%
I
agree.
truly believe that 9-win fluctuation is all within the realm of possibility.
I agree. Agreed. First of all, quarterback play is a big question mark, right?
Yep.
Not to get too much into the Packers, but because we're going to have some really awesome stuff on Friday. But, quarterback play is a big one. On both sides of the ball. Me and you have had this conversation plenty of times with the quarterbacks that we start the season out with. And, looking at that, looking at the talent that we have on defense, and if Jordan Love is anything, right? Like there's some gross, in a bad way, Aaron Rodgers stats, and not the dog in Aaron Rodgers. Still love Rodgers. Obviously not this season as much as seasons past, but
65%.
Yeah, just give me 65%. But if Jordan Love can improve on some numbers and be equal in other numbers, absolutely no way that we don't win at least 10. I'm not even fucking kidding when I say that. Honestly.
The main parallels with the Packers as to the Brewers, to get back with the Brewers, is there's so much youth.
Yeah, that's
so much youth on both of these teams. So speaking of the youth on the Brewers, Sal Frelick led off the top of the 2nd inning with a leadoff walk. Willie Adames worked a 4-pitch walk. Mark Canha got hit by a pitch, and the Brewers had bases loaded with nobody out. Victor Caratini and Bryce Terang hit sacrifice flies that made the game 2-0. And Andrew Monasterio hit an infield single, and that was it for the top of the 2nd. Bottom of the 2nd, a strikeout, and then a double off of Sal Frelick's glove in deep right field. It actually hit him in like the heel of his glove. So the fact that Sal Frelick was even there to have a play on that ball is nuts. But then a 3rd strikeout for Burns in the inning. 2 on the cutter, 1 on the curveball. Top of the 3rd, Sal Frelick had a 2-out single. Willie Adames drew a walk, but the Brewers didn't get any runs. In the bottom of the 3rd, single and a bad throw trying to catch the runner allowed the leadoff runner to get to second base. Wild pitch allowed the runner to get to 3rd, but then Corbin Burns went ground out, a strikeout on a slider, and a strikeout on a curveball. So a really good bounce back from Corbin Burns on that. Bottom of the 4th inning, Andrew McCutchen led off with a double. A sac fly followed, and then a 2-run home run made the game 2-2. A new game. Burns finished the inning with a strikeout and a ground out. Bottom of the 5th, great 1-out play by Willie Adames, ranging in the second base shortstop hole and throwing across his body. That's a great play by Willie Adames. A 3-2 count on Ke'Bryan Hayes, who is a very good hitter. and is also on a very, very hot streak right now. Hit a home run, made the game 3-2. That was his first career hit against Corbin Burnes.
Holy shit.
He was 0 for 15 before that.
And then he just cranks a home run.
And then he hits a dinger on a 3-2 count. Reynolds got down 0-2. The next batter got down 0-2, hit a double. And then he had Andrew McCutchen down 0-2. And then followed with a ball and two foul balls. And then he hit a double. Made the game 4-2, and Burnes was up to 91 pitches. He was looking pretty good shape coming into that inning. But a 2-out rally by the Pirates kind of knocked him out a little early. In the top of the 7th inning, Christian Yelich had a 2-out walk. William Contreras single extended his hit streak to 14. Santana got up 3-0 and struck out. That's a tough spot to be.
Yeah.
The Brewers scored first, had 7 base runners from the 3rd to the 9th inning, and scored no runs. They had inning-ending double plays in the 4th and 6th inning, and went 1, 2, 3, 4 times from the 5th to the 9th.
Fucking gross.
Corbin Burnes had 7 strikeouts, 4 on the cutter, 2 on the curveball, 1 on the slider. Corbin Burnes has the 3rd highest whiff rate on curveballs in Major League Baseball.
Bro, his curveball is dominant now.
Not a stat that I would have expected to see.
Bro,
from Corbin Burnes. Burnes did not get the outside strike that Pittsburgh was getting, which was annoying the hell out of me during this game. A lot of pitches just right outside the strike zone, and Burnes was not getting the outside.
Well, apparently, if you watch today's game, they could throw it.
Oh my God, we'll get there, but I'm still super fucking annoyed. And then Contreras' streak continued, and Santana's streak ended, so we can go to game 2.
Game 2, I know you're gonna have some good Woody stuff, so I'll leave Woody stats for you, buddy. Chafin was very good in this one as well. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 walks. Clayton Andrews just roughed up again. It is what it is. He gave up 3 earned runs in 5 pitches, and Peguero came in, gave up 2 hits, but ended up blocking this one down. Santana, Yelly, Canna, Monasterio, and Terang all with RBIs. So, like you said, this next game literally proves what you said to be true, to be a fact. As one goes, everybody goes. I will say, this is not like a hot take, but in the last 23 games of the season, the Brewers need Yelly to get hot again. He's been kind of dipping down in the average lately. And also in this one, Frelick and Monasterio got their first career triples. So love that for both of them. Frelick also added a double because, why wouldn't he? And then Santana got his 29th double of the season. So the offense was out. They broke the bats out in this one last night.
Which is interesting because they went 1, 2, 3 in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
And then they were just like, you know what? We should hit the ball.
Yeah, let's do that. So, bottom of the 1st inning, a leadoff single was wiped out by a challenge at second base. Just a good job by Craig Counsell calling that challenge. Skipping ahead to the top of the 4th inning, Christian Yelich had a leadoff walk. A pass ball got him to second base. William Contreras drew a walk. Canna grounded into a double play, but the run scored. Made the game 1-0. The top of the 5th inning, Sal Frelick led off with a walk. Andre Monasterio hit the ball to the perfect part of PNC Park for a triple.
Yep.
Made the game 2-0. Bryce Terang followed an infield single, made the game 3-0. Tyrone Taylor fisted a single to right field. Bryce Terang scored. Bryce Terang went first to third. And then Christian Yelich had a sac fly to the warning track. It was a really good hit by him. 100 miles an hour off the bat. Made the game 4-0. William Contreras drew another walk, and then a new pitcher came in, and Carlos Santana hit a moonshot into the lights, which turned into a double off the wall, made the game 5-0. Canna followed with a single, kind of a bobbled exchange. Both runners scored, made the game 7-0. Bottom of the 5th, Christian Yelich made a nice catch, sliding catch in the no man's land area, kind of by the left field line, but in the area where the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder were all in place to kind of have a play on it. A one-out single broke a streak of 9 consecutive batters retired by Woodruff, and then Christian Yelich made a nice ranging catch to deep left field to finish that was the second out of the 5th inning, and then Brandon Woodruff got his 3rd strikeout of the game to end the 5th. Top of the 6th, first pitch, Sal Frelick leads off with a double to left center. He was stranded. Bottom of the 7th, 1-2-3 inning, ground out, strikeout, and then strikeout for Brandon Woodruff. Top of the 8th, Sal Frelick had a 2-out triple off the top of the wall in center field. He was stranded again. And then bottom of the 9th, Clayton Andrews gives up a single to Reynolds and Hayes. That's 2 really good batters, and then a 3-run home run before an out was recorded. Made the game 7-3. Elvis Boguero came in, gets 2 outs, gives up 2 singles, and then gets a fielder's choice to end the game. Brandon Woodruff, 7 innings pitched, his longest outing of 2023. 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. No runners reached second base against him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. One of them touched second base, but then he untouched second base and was called out. Brewers had 4 extra base hits. 2 of them were by Sal Frelick. All 6 of Brandon Woodruff's strikeouts were on fastballs. Opponents are batting .094 against Brandon Woodruff's changeup. His changeup curveball or changeup fastball combination last night was just nasty.
Dude, he's been filthy with it since he came back. Honestly.
Nasty.
Yeah.
They put this stat on the screen during the game, and I'm like, dang it, I had that one written down, and they posted it on the screen. Brandon Woodruff first pitch strikes 18 of 24 batters.
Damn, son.
And he didn't get his first strikeout until the 4th inning.
Wow.
The Brewers were 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. That's a .333 batting average. I will take that. Contreras' streak ended at 14, and the Brewers got their 2,000th win in the National League.
Hey, I like it.
So, going into today's game, what's up to you from today's game besides the final pitch?
Yeah, for real. I just want to give a shout out. I do like Ryan Hayes. I like him a lot. He's a good young player. Very slick glove at third base.
Player, yeah.
And before I continue this, it made me think of something I wanted to bring up earlier. Santana has to trust Turang behind him.
Yeah. If he had been playing him the whole season, I think he would.
Yeah.
But yeah, or if they could figure out a way to communicate it, like if Turang could be like shouting, I got it, or something. Like if they could figure something out, communication that way.
There's been a few, last 2 of them at least, the last week, where Turang would have been there pretty easily, would have been an out. And
you also have to make sure that the pitcher is covering in that instance, and then it's still like a foot race between the pitcher and the batter to get to the base.
Right. So if Santana just trusts that Turang's going to get there, he can be there to cover. You know what I mean? Other than that, Peralta, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and a walk. Had 4 Ks. So, like you said, ended his streak.
Yeah.
Trevor McGill, 2/3 of an inning pitch, 1 hit, 2 Ks. Peguero's the guy today that gave up some runs late. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K. Walks kill you, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Even though it was only 1, but they always end up killing you, especially in games like today where the offense just didn't seem to have it. Uribe, 1 inning pitch, 3 Ks. Adames got this party started pretty early. First inning, 2 outs. He decided to crank a 3-run homer. So while I was at work and I checked the score, I was like, oh, hell yeah, baby. Brewers are going to take this series. We're going to move on to the New York Yankees. But it's not what happened, obviously. He's up to 68 RBIs now, 23 home runs. Anna also got his 48th RBI of the season. Brewers were 2 for 9 at runners in scoring position. Before I forget, Yelly got his 31st double. So he's still kind of on track to get to 40 doubles.
I can see 9 doubles in 23 games. That's doable.
If he gets on fire and could have 2 in 1 game or whatever, I think he could do it. Definitely. Especially with the way he runs the bases. He's perfect at it.
True. I mean, he had a hustle double today.
Yeah. So
top of the first, Christian Yelich and William Contreras started the game with walks. A fly out by Santana. Both runners advanced on the throw. Sal and Willie Adames both got down 0-2. Sal struck out. Adames hit a slider out of the ballpark, made the game 3-0. Quintana drew a walk. Canna drew a walk, got to second, was stranded there. Bottom of the first, Freddie Peralta, 10 pitches. The only thing that happened was a solo home run to Ke'Bryan Hayes, made the game 3-1. You mentioned that hustle double by Christian Yelich. Both teams went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second and top of the third. Bottom of the third, Pirates got a leadoff single, didn't advance. Bottom of the fourth, a 1-0 reach on error, didn't advance. Top of the fifth, William Contreras had a 2-0 infield single, stole second base. He was stranded. Bottom of the fifth, a 1-2-3 inning for Freddie Peralta. He was at 75 pitches through 3 innings. So I'm like, all right, cool. Freddie Peralta is cruising. Felt good about it. With top of the sixth, Mark Canna had a 2-0 single. Bryce Durang followed with a walk. They were stranded. Bottom of the sixth is where Freddie Peralta got into some trouble. 1-out single, and then a walk, and then a double made the game 3-2. And that was it for Freddie Peralta. McGill came in, gave up a single, made the game 3-3, and then got 2 strikeouts. Basically a new game going into the top of the seventh. Brewers went 1-2-3 in the top of the seventh.
Yeah. Not how you want to start.
Bottom of the seventh, yeah. Bottom of the seventh, Elvis Guerrero came in with 1 out, gave up a single that hit him on the foot, and then a triple that made the game 4-3. Brian Reynolds was intentionally walked. Peguero struck out Ke'Bryan Hayes, and then Hobie Milner came in, gave up a single that made the game 5-3, and got a strikeout to end the inning. Top of the eighth, Sal Frelick had a 1-out single. Willie Adames followed with a single. Mark Canna followed with a single, made the game 5-4. Brewers had runners at first and third, and Rowdy Tellez came in to pinch hit and grounded into a double play.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Arguably the brightest spot of this game, Abner Uribe, 8th inning, gets a strikeout looking, and then another strikeout.
That's what he does.
Yes. Top of the ninth.
He was really good with his slider today, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Top of the ninth, Andre Monasterio led off with a single. William Contreras with 2 outs is called out on a horrible pitch. Easily 6 inches outside, just a really stupid way to end the game.
Yeah.
Now, on this pitch, it was the widest miss on a called third strike with the tying run on base, at bat, or on deck this entire Major League Baseball season.
Yep, of course it happened to us.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
The Brewers had 2 out runners after the first inning 3 times. They also went 1-2-3 3 times. Freddie Peralta, the 5 1/3, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, a walk, and 3 earned runs. He still hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs since July 21st, but his pitch count was okay coming into the 6th inning, so it just felt like he was going to be able to go longer. I don't think it was a bad outing by Freddie Peralta, but it just felt like it was a little short based on what it could have been, based on the fact that he was through 5 innings on 75 pitches. Like, I'm like, all right, we'll get at least 6. Maybe we'll be able to get a 7th inning if he can get a quick inning, but it just didn't happen. But he was, and Vinny Rottino talked about this a ton during the broadcast today, is Freddie Peralta, his ability to throw his fastball and changeup like 4-mile-an-hour differences. Like, he can throw changeups anywhere between 88 and 92, and he can throw fastballs anywhere between 93 and 97. And it's not like a fatigue thing. It's like a control thing. Like, he can control what speed he throws his fastballs. Like,
that's crazy.
1 or 2 mile an hour.
That's insane that he can do that.
It's weird, and it works so well. Like, he wins pitcher of the month. Like, that's
yeah.
And it's weird because the opportunity is there for Corbin Burns to win July pitcher of the month, Freddie Peralta to win August pitcher of the month, and the way that Woodruff is going, he could win September's pitcher of the month.
We're gonna need one of them, and I'm really hoping that Yelly can win, like, player of the month. That would be disgusting.
Yeah, or Contreras. I mean,
yeah.
The Brewers with an offense is scary.
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, Abner Uribe, great work for him. He was working the corners and the edges beautifully for a guy whose only issue was control. For him to be controlling his pitches was actually really, really good to see.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. 5 out of the 6 games this week, the team that scored first lost.
You know what? I was going to say something about the Brewers getting the lead first. It makes a lot of sense because the Phillies scored first 2 games.
Yep.
Brewers scored first in the 3rd game. They lost.
Yep.
Brewers scored first twice in the Pirates series and lost. Ah! God damn it. You know what? Starting to piss me off is they keep showing that goddamn come from behind thing. And we haven't had a goddamn come from behind win in like 2 goddamn weeks, it feels like. It's like, God damn it, will you stop showing that? You're jinxing us now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 come from behind wins last week because we started down 1-0 in both of the Phillies games that we won. So
That's fair.
that technically counts.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with the Brewers. Now, here's the thing. We had Vinny Rottino on with us just a couple weeks ago, and he said when we interviewed him that, and he's not the only one to have said this, but the Brewers aren't going to run away with the NL Central.
No.
Even if the Brewers win 5 straight and the Cubs lose 5 straight, and the Brewers are up 6.5 games, they're not just going away. I don't foresee the Cubs losing 5 straight games, but I'm just saying, like, the rest of this season, like, nothing is guaranteed for the Brewers.
Yep.
Now, I agree with what Vinny Rottino said when he was on the show, that there's something to be said for having a race towards the end of the season, whether it be a wild card or a pennant race, that you're essentially playing all of September as if they're playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a team, say like the Braves, who have a massive lead in their division, can kind of coast a little bit. It kind of catches you a little bit, relaxed when you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, by potentially having September being, playoff atmosphere baseball games, it can kind of take some of the pressure that you would feel in a playoff game off a little bit.
And you know
I'm
what?
not saying the pressure goes away, but I think you feel it less because you've been playing under pressure for a month already.
Right. I mean, the Brewers for a couple months, really. But it makes it more exciting for the fans, too. Like, we're going to go to the game on Monday. That game's going to be fucking sick, dude. Like, we're going to be so close. Like, we're in the middle of a playoff race. Like,
yep, the Marlins are trying to get into the wild card.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, dude. It's going to be high intensity. That's going to be a playoff atmosphere, basically.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, there was a lot of whining on Facebook after today's game.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. Here's the thing. Would you want it to be easy?
No.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Exactly.
And I'm saying this vaguely for a reason, because it's not just baseball that this applies to.
Yep.
Baseball is not the only thing where if it came easy, everybody would have championships. It's hard for a reason because everybody wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
So to try to have the thing where you get to have the trophy without having to work for it or without having to go through any adversity, it serves nobody any good.
Agreed.
It wouldn't in sports, it wouldn't as fans, and it wouldn't in life.
Agreed.
The adversity, and this is why so many people say to enjoy the journey, that's what makes it worth it. How often do we talk about the 2013 Bucks winning 15 games to making it feel like the championship just feels so amazing because we went through those hard times?
Man, I talk about that all the time, like almost every day, it feels like, dude.
Now, how is it going to be when a month from now, when the Brewers are starting their first round playoff series, and it'll be like, hey, remember when we lost 2 out of 3 from the Pirates and everybody was freaking out? The Brewers lost 2 out of 3 from the Pirates in early September and then rattled off and won 18 of their last 23 games, and now here they are as the 2nd seed in the NL. Like, that's what makes this shit worth it, is having to work for it.
But did you forget that our season ended in June?
I did forget that. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Why would you want stuff to come easy? It doesn't make it feel as worth it. Making it, for it being hard and having adversity is what makes it worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So the Brewers have only 5 games between now and next Wednesday, because next Wednesday's game is an evening game, and that one will happen after our show. So 3 at the Yankees, who are playing pretty good, and then 2 versus the Marlins, Monday's game, which we will be in attendance for. The Brewers are off tomorrow. But 5 games for the Brewers. I'm gonna say we need 4-1. Like, we need 5-0, which would obviously be helpful, but I'm gonna say 4-1. I do think the Brewers are capable of taking 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. They showed it already, by taking 3 of 3 from the Rangers not long ago, and the Rangers are absolutely reeling since then.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say we'll take the first 2 from the Marlins, and that'll make the Brewers 4-1 in their next 5.
I'm gonna say 5-0. Say 5-0. Also, don't forget, tomorrow we go against the 69-69 New York Yankees. And it is their first time being 69-69 since 1969.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the trifecta 69 right there, baby. I love it.
Triple 69. All right. Good for them.
5-0. 5-0. We'll be very happy next Wednesday.
I like it. I'm here for it.
We're gonna be 5-0, but we're gonna get a Badger dub, cue Mikey, and we're gonna get a Packer dub. Oh my God, dude! Mikey,
what up?
What's going on, buddy?
How we doing? I love that stat, by the way. That definitely got a smile on my face.
69-69, baby.
That's awesome. All right, you guys ready to talk some Badger football?
I am. I'm good.
He's always ready.
All right. So this season, instead of doing, we've previously done 3 stars and an underrated performer. This year, we're going to try to do it kind of on brand with the rest of our teams that Jake and I do, with a power pair and underrated performer. So with the Badgers football season, we're going to have essentially 9 guys that we're going to bring up, a power pair from each of us, 1 on offense, 1 on defense, and then an underrated performer can be from anything. So, Mike, as our Badger guy, who is your offensive power pair player?
All right. First off, I got to give a quick shout out to, I was fortunate to go to the game this past Saturday. I got to give a shout out to that sold out crowd that was in attendance. I kind of mentioned it to you guys in the chat. The student section was probably about 80 to 85% full from what I could gather at the start of kickoff, which is pretty impressive considering, what they're going through right now to try to get all the students there on time and everything. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The crowd was great. They're definitely working through some things with they hired a DJ of some sort in the stadium. So basically on 3rd or 4th downs, right? Instead of listening to the crowd yelling, screaming or whatever, they were playing a DJ right before the snap, which was kind of weird. That's something that you might see on Twitter come up, and it's been there has been complaints about that. So if you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'll get right into it. So.
Complaints from our fans or complaints from Buffalo?
Yeah. Correct. Our fans. So instead, think of it as 3rd down, right? You want the crowd to get noisy for sure. Instead of that going on, there was there's music blaring before instead, and you couldn't really hear the crowd itself cheer that much, I guess is the best way to put it. Which it's something new. It's something that they're trying, and I guess I just want to throw that out there real quick in case you guys heard that. But no, that's just something I want to throw out there. But I'll get right into it. So, I thought this was really, really impressive. This guy, he's been kind of on, I don't want to say the back burner of Braille in here, but he's definitely, once he first came into Wisconsin, he was the starter, and now he's kind of like that 1-2 punch, so to speak, second guy in line. But Ches Malusi was my offensive player of the game. 13 carries, $157 with 2 touchdowns. I did not realize this. He did this in 20 snaps. That caught me off guard at first. I'm just like, wow, I was at that game, and wow, he did that in 20 snaps, which is crazy. I would say, the game was kind of iffy going into the second half, but he was the one who definitely lit a spark under our offense and ran for that 89-yard touchdown score.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pro Football Focus 81.8. That's impressive in itself as well. And I guess to go along with Chez's stats, this offense clearly, in my view, caters to him, and I think you guys would agree. Jesse Temple pointed this out earlier this week that I think I should bring this up. So Buffalo's defense, what they were playing, like a 6-man box, 7-man box, 5-8, 62% of the snaps were in a 6-man box, which we're not accustomed to that, right? So that's incredible. And then a 7-man box, 17%, and then the 21% left over was either like a 5-man box or an 8-man box. But the 62% snap thing with 6-man box, that is very significant. That jumps out to us, I think, as Wisconsin fans, as it should, because we're used to a loaded box. So I wanted to throw that stat out there for you guys, especially for the games that Chez and Braylon had a good game too. So just want to throw that out there.
Jake's going to talk about the other one that you were.
I wanted to keep that quiet, but making plays in space is what we're all about in this offense, and I think it definitely caters to Chez. No questions asked.
Jake, who's your offensive power pair player?
Braylon Allen.
Way to set up defense on that.
Yeah, Braylon Allen was fantastic, and that was great, Mikey. 6-man boxes, man. So you're basically a man on a man, with the O-line, and then you got one-on-one with Braylon Allen or Chez Mellusi. I will take that every goddamn Saturday.
Bring it.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff, and that's the reason we were excited for Phil Longo, because he's kind of got an NFL feel to him where he can kind of schematically mix some things up, right?
We're gonna talk about Longo after the power pairs. So
yeah,
if you guys have thoughts on Longo, we can hold them in the next segment.
Okay. I want to get into it because people were like flipping out, and it was
we're going to. So just do your guy, and then we'll talk about it.
People were trying to run, couldn't walk because they couldn't read, but whatever. Back to Braylon Allen. He had 17 carries, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8.3 yard average per touch on a rush. So that was fantastic. He caught 7 passes, career high, 25 yards on those. I expect him to, if he has 7 catches, he's going to have more than 25 yards eventually.
Most of the time.
That's a 3.6 average. So in total, he had 24 touches, 166 yards. That's a 6.9 average per touch.
Nice. My offensive power pair player, I went with Will Pauling. He was targeted 5 times, 5 receptions, 55 yards, a lot of 5s. He hauled in everything, and he took some pretty hard hits on some of the catches, and he held onto the ball. So big credit to Will Pauling. He was my offensive power pair player. Mikey, who is your defensive power pair?
Yeah, real quick, Will Pauling, in addition to he had a really great game, his blocking too. If you pay attention to him blocking down the field as well, he's actually he looked really, really good at that. So my guy, I did Jordan Turner. He was, I'm going to bring up Pro Football Focus, but he was the best of the middle linebackers at a 65.6, 7 tackles. Had the one unfortunate bang play that got him booted out for the rest of the game, which really sucked because it's obviously bad in general, but like I want to say there was maybe like 6 minutes to go in the game or something like that too.
I think it was less than that.
It was we were going to win the game, so it was really unfortunate how it happened, especially with that much time left, and unfortunately he's 95% likely going to be out for the first half this week against Washington State. I think it's still under appeal right now, but the one take, but it is what it is. And I think Jordan Turner, with what he was going through prior to the season started with his off-field activities, that's got him suspended for like a very small period of time. Obviously, it's good to see him bounce back in the opening game at home and clearly making a statement. So, and the thing about that is Luke Fickell's clearly not on board with this whole Jordan Turner getting booted out. He's made it clear in his weekly. I think he made it clear in his post-game press conference, and he also made it clear in his press conference on Monday of this week. So, and he just doesn't think, even not just with him, he's under the impression that no kid should be booted out of games at all in general.
Yep.
So I'm sure, and you don't hear many coaches speak out about that, which is what I applaud Coach Fickell for doing that. So shout out to him. But no, Jordan Turner had a great game. I can't wait until he comes back for the second half on Saturday. We're definitely going to need him.
He's going to be juiced up, boy.
Yeah. We get that Nick Herbig second half that he had. What is that? I don't remember what team it was against last year, but he had like 3 sacks in the second half after having to miss the first half.
That was crazy, bro.
All right, Jake, who's your defensive guy?
I took Mikey's favorite player of all time, favorite Wisconsin Badger of all time, Hunter Wohler. Dude, he was all over the goddamn field. Single high. He was in that linebacker, basically. He was slot or star position. He was everywhere, flying around the field, making tackles. Definitely not afraid to stick his nose in there. He came into this game with a career 38 tackles total. He had 11 total tackles on Saturday alone.
Damn.
10 solo. So the guy, like I said, is not afraid to stick his nose in there. And I was watching him very closely, hearing how much Mike likes him. Here's how highly you talk about him the last couple of years. I'm going to be watching him. He's going to be very key in this next week's game.
Oh, yeah.
My defensive guy is Alexander Smith. He only had 3 tackles, did have 1 tackle for a loss. That was a very, very nice play identification on a screen that had blockers. That wasn't the only screen that he identified well either. It happened twice. It happened once later in the game, too, that Alexander Smith just really early diagnosed wide receiver screens and cleaned up the tackles on them to hold the Buffalo Buffs for 2 yards or less. Yeah. So, Mikey, give us your underrated performer.
Best part. That's the best part.
All right. Well, this is a true freshman. We did talk about him in our preview a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's fair to say prior to that, we did not think this was coming at all for how much of an impact he is making already. It's going to be tight end Tucker Ashcraft.
My man.
33 snaps compared to Hayden Rucci's 45. So if you look at it right now, he's clearly tight end 2 in that room.
It's a better snap than I thought he would have, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. 2 big catches for 36 yards. One of the catches that he got, he ran over the Buffalo corner, planted him on his ass, and then he went for a first down. So I didn't know he was that big either. I think he's like 6'5", 245, which is massive.
I didn't know if he was wearing the pads or the pads were wearing him. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude's a fucking unit.
He is huge.
And you look at it, it's like, how did this kid go under the radar too, right? I mean, he wasn't even highly recruited. I want to say, like, besides Colorado, where he was committed to, it was maybe Colorado, Michigan State, Washington State. I think that was like a top 3. And then when he entered the portal, that's when Coach Fick and company found him. So yeah, not highly recruited. I believe that once he was actually at first a receiver, and then he transitioned over to a tight end his junior year in high school. And that's where he first started getting recruited, just during that season. So maybe he was just a little late to the party, but no, I'm excited for this guy's future. Clearly he's a catching tight end who can get out in space and make some plays. I mean, if him and Rucci stay healthy, we could be, doing pretty well.
Yeah, I really like the potential of the tight end room. They're both young, both big kids, athletic. They can run, they can catch. If they can learn, which they don't have a choice, they're going to learn how to fucking run block, right? It's Wisconsin. Yeah. I don't give a shit what goddamn dairy raid, air raid. I don't give a shit. You run block at Wisconsin. You want to make the NFL? You fucking run block.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rules.
There's a long history of it, of guys who have done it and gone into the NFL and had successful careers. A long history of it.
And tight end is such a weird position now in the NFL. Not to cut you off, but tight end is such a weird position. It's a little underappreciated, but all the best teams that have the good tight ends, they run block and they receive.
They know how to use them.
Kelsey's obviously not the blocker that Kittle is, right? But he does it enough, and he's just that dominant with catching the football. Look at a guy like Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson can carve off a good 10-year career just because he's fundamentally sound and he catches the damn ball.
I mean, you could just go to like the obvious ones, just Owen Daniels and Lance Kendricks.
Yeah.
Those two both had, 10-year careers?
Lance Kendricks, not overly athletic at all, but you know what? Fundamentally sound, willing to run block.
Yeah. Troy Fumagali's still hanging on in the league. That dude only has 9 fingers.
He's still with Denver, or did he go?
No, he is with San Francisco, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They use their tight ends. They use everybody. You got a jersey on? Catch a pass.
Yeah.
They'll train you how to play quarterback because they're going to need him.
I really feel like Shanahan is so confident that he could take a person from the stands wearing a jersey and make them catch a pass. Like, that's how schematically smart he is.
All right, Jake, who's your underrated performer?
Oh, I'm so excited for this, dude. I picked the goddamn punter, baby. Let's go.
Atticus
Bertrams. Okay, so he had 5 punts for 194 yards, 38.8 average, and he had 3 inside the 20. Now, the reason that I picked him, super underrated, is because he had 5 punts, within our first 7, I believe it is, 7 drives. So, first drive, punt, score 0-0. We went down, touchdown. Next drive, 7-7. We punted the ball. The next drive after that was Mordecai's first interception. After that, punt, touchdown, end of half, coming out of half. The score is 10-14. We punted again. He was keeping us in this game along with the defense. The crowd was doing their thing. It was nice and loud there, I think. The crowd was plenty loud on the TV. And then immediately the first drive after that was the 89-yarder, one-play drive from Ches Malusi, and then the Braylon Allen drive, like I like to call it. 8 plays, 97 yards. He had 56 of them. And I got to tell you, he looks a little lighter. He looks a little quicker. He looks a lot like a first-rounder. Just throwing that out there.
Light on his feet. I said that. Yeah, he looks way lighter on his feet.
He does, 100%.
Surprisingly, the 5 for 194 stands out because he shanked one.
Yeah.
5, he absolutely shanked, and it was like, a 30-yard punt? So for him to rebound from that and still have a good game overall, it makes him a good underrated performer pick. So good pick. I went with Jake Chaney, another linebacker who made some very timely plays. He had 5 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and like Alexander Smith, sniffed out a screen that came for a big tackle for a loss. So I went with Jake Chaney for my underrated performer. Now, we can air the grievances with Phil Longo, and I don't have any grievances because I knew coming into this that what was happening was going to happen. We said it during the primer. Phil Longo comes in with an air raid, but Phil Longo said he was going to merge his air raid with traditional Wisconsin football, which is running the ball. Mm-hmm. He also said, I don't care if we run the ball 70 times or pass the ball 70 times. We are going to take what the defense gives us. We also brought up that while at UNC, he had a season where he had 2,000-yard rushers. Air raid does not mean throwing the ball 75% of the time. And what I'll say about it is air raid is more about the pace of play than the type of play. And we saw this with the first drive of the first possession. Quick pace between plays. Like calling hike with 22 seconds left on the play clock. The Badgers are not bleeding drives out anymore. They're running a play, they're getting back to the line and running another play.
How refreshing is that, going from old school Badgers and Rodgers, who used to run the goddamn play clock down to 0 every play?
Two potentially very different paces for our football teams this year. But like I said, I really feel that the air raid is more about the pace of play than the type of play. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to say on the Wisconsin version of the air raid.
You go first, Mikey.
I mean, you hit it on the head. I mean, we said it in the primer. I fully expected us to, even start off slow as well with this new offense. Yep. I'm going to give a quick shout out though to Tanner Bortolini though, because as a center myself, I like to pay attention to that spot. He didn't have one bad shotgun snap all day.
Oh.
A couple of them were maybe a little slow, I guess, if you want to say kind of lobbyish, but it's not like he hiked over his head. Like we saw that the spring game. That's definitely one of my main concerns going forward. But I just want to give a shout out to Tanner. And he was also the Outland Trophy Player of the Week, if you didn't see that.
He was. Yeah, I did see that today.
So
Nice.
shout out to Tanner. Great first week, especially with the new system and the shot. And he might be, the center now for the next at least 4 or 5 games. I mean, to my knowledge, there's no sign of Jake Renfro coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. So I think this is going to be his spot for a little while. So if he can keep this up, there's going to be more accolades that come along with it. But he impressed me actually in that system.
Jake, is there anything you want to say on the air raid before we talk offense? I'm just going to say something real simple. I feel like, and I feel like it got confirmed. The air raid offense is all matchup based, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use Mikey's stat that he said, where the air raid is getting the ball up, getting to the line quick, getting the ball out quick, run another one, catch them off guard, no substitutions, blah blah blah, right? But Mikey said a lot of 6-man boxes. I'm going to tell you guys basics of football. If there's 6 goddamn people in the box and you have a 250-pound behemoth, literally look like he was made by God himself, you run the fucking ball. Okay? That's just where it ends.
Yeah.
6 people in the box, gigantic human being. He's pissed off all the time. You run the ball. That's just how it works.
Take what the defense gives you. The defense is literally giving you a permission to not have contact until you're 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
There's so much stuff that can go wrong with a pass, dude. Like a tip pass, a drop pass from a wide receiver falling into we've seen that plenty of times with the Packers, right? Where Rodgers throws it on target, just goes off the receiver's hands. But man, though, it's about taking advantage. If they slide another linebacker in there, guess what? We're slinging it. That's what's going to happen. So
it just goes back to what Longo has said time after time after time. We will take what the defense gives us.
And that is how you win.
He said that a handful. I swear to God, a handful of times already. So it was awesome seeing Braylon catching swing passes and letting him do some work. I think we're going to see that a lot this year as well.
Your corners are going to get beat up playing the Badgers this year, man. You're going to have to tackle Braylon down a lot. It's going to have a really big effect. It'll be interesting to see the air raid when the air gets a little colder.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
I will say a lot of business decisions will need to be made.
Okay, so on the offense, the quick pace was the first thing that stood out. A couple of big runs by Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi, and a nice out route by Will Pauling. Got to a touchdown for Ches Malusi on their first touchdown drive. Braylon Allen on a quick screen with wide receivers blocking is a very exciting play to picture the potential of.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to a drive. This was I believe their 4th possession of the game. First down, Skylar Bell wide open, and Tanner Mordecai could not have walked the ball and set it in Skylar Bell's hands any better than he did. And Skylar dropped it, and that possession ended in an interception. That
was a freaking dime, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My head was down after that. I didn't even watch the next play, which, hey, not the worst thing in the world because of what happened, but I was sitting down like this after that.
Yeah.
Because that was absolutely perfect. We set him up for that too. Especially because we didn't really throw the deep ball either in this game. So it was primed to.
That's a really good way to get passed up by Keontez Lewis on the depth chart.
Dude, what a fucking play call by Phil Longo, catching him in cover 2 and having him stretch over the middle.
Cover 2.
Oh my God.
That's what the potential of this offense holds. Deep touchdowns like that often.
Yeah.
The last possession on the offense before the half, first, Tanner Mordecai on 3rd and 3, slamming on the brakes to let the linebacker go past him, and then running up the first down. That was awesome. Skylar Bell did make 2 catches on that drive. Tucker Ashcraft got his first catch on that drive and rambled through a bunch of tackles. I think he had like 7 yards after contact. Like he was just like Hulk, just like running through people and like pushing people off, pushing people down, just literally running over them. That was awesome to see Tucker Ashcraft, and I think we're going to see closer to a 50-50 this week with them.
Yeah.
Mordecai was patient in a collapsing pocket and finds DK across the middle, and DK takes the ball to the end zone. That made the game 14-7. Second half, the second possession, Chez Mellusi on first down rumbles for that 89-yard touchdown. Now, the thing that stood out to me from that play, besides obviously the super long touchdown, was every like cutback and change of direction that Chez Mellusi made while he was running that long touchdown. They were all in stride. They all looked super smooth while he was running that. So that was really, really good to see. Really liked that. So that made the game 21-10. The Badgers' next possession, a great punt by, I don't remember what the dude's name is, but great punt by the Buffalo punter to basically hit like the 1-inch line and not go into the end zone and for them to down the ball at the 4-yard line. Braylon Allen had a bunch of good gains on the ground and a screen pass that set a new career high for receptions for him and also set a new career high for running people over because he had like 17 bodies that he caught on that possession. Bill Pauling had a huge gain on that drive. Braylon Allen had a 37-yard run on that drive and just more bodies catching for Braylon Allen. The next play ran for a 7-yard touchdown. That made the game 28-10. That was a 97-yard drive, like Jake said, in just over 3 minutes. Dude. That was 8-play, 97-yard drive in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. That is what the air raid is about.
Bro, we went the whole field 3 minutes.
That's bonkers.
That is nuts.
Badgers used to be able to run 2 plays in 3 minutes.
Fucking dude. John Clay for 6 yards.
The next possession, Tanner Mordecai got hit, stayed in the pocket, delivered an absolute dot to Tucker Ashcraft on the sideline. A nice catch and run, setting the pass up nicely. Third down play was well designed also. Having Will Pauling in a wide receiver screen, but the spacing just wasn't there. They had 2 lead blockers. I don't remember if it was 2 wide receivers or if it was a wide receiver and a tight end. But they had Will Pauling on the outside. He came in for the wide receiver screen. They had the 2 lead blockers. I love that play design. It's a really good way, in my opinion, to utilize Will Pauling's speed and just to get him in some space. The Badgers did get stopped on third down in that drive, but got a field goal that made the game 31-10. The next possession was the other interception that Tanner Mordecai had. He just absolutely did not see the line in the middle of the field, and the dude just snagged an interception. Their next offensive possession, Buffalo tried an onside kick. The Badgers started at their own 46. First down was a 20-yard run by Braylon Allen, another 8-yard run by Braylon Allen, and then a 22-yard touchdown. So that made the game 38-14. That touchdown came 1 minute and 15 seconds after Buffalo's touchdown.
Yeah, damn.
That was pretty much it for the offense. What stood out to you guys from the Badgers offense? Mike, I'll let you go first again.
Just kind of like how I mentioned before with like Braylon, for example, like he didn't catch swing passes or anything like that, like ever. So him like catching the ball numerous times, and we're gonna see it a lot coming down. It comes down to what the defense gives us, and seeing Braylon in space, even on those swing passes, or even Chez too, because as I said earlier, this offense is so catered to Chez as well, just as much as Braylon, in my view. Just getting those guys out in space, as well as our receivers and all that. Just seeing him make plays, not running in those 8-man boxes, is going to be a breath of fresh air that I think as the season progresses, Badger fans are going to like it. I know I'm going to. Unfortunately, it wasn't like completely clean, but again, we said this going into game 1. It's not going to be clean. It is what it is. Hopefully Tanner can get I mean, if Tanner, completes that ball to Skylar Bell for a touchdown, what are people going to
no complaints literally about the game if that happens.
It is what it is. Like I am going to accept that if we're like Tanner might throw some picks this year, but I'm
He's
also like just watching him. I get this feeling like his composure is just solid. He can easily like erase a bad memory and just like get back to the next possession and score. So I don't know. I just have that impression with him personally. I hope I'm not wrong after this weekend. I don't have to come back on here and change my mind. But there's a lot of good here. Just got to clean some things up and play our best ball towards the end of the year, like what Fick said.
Jake, what stood out to you from the offense?
I'm just going to hit on a couple points you both brought up. So first of all, Mordecai, you could tell that he's a vet by the way that he, gets over an interception. He's thrown them before. He's probably going to throw a couple more this season.
He's going to throw double digit because he's going to throw the ball a lot. He's going to throw double digit interceptions. Might as well accept it. Yeah. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns too.
I think this game, I'm looking at these first few games as like building blocks, right? I literally have building blocks written down on this notepad. Building blocks because by the time they get to that Ohio State game, which is the big one, right? Everybody's looking at that one. That's the true test this season, right? We play Washington State, who is a pretty dang underrated team, by the way. We're going to talk about that next. Then we play Georgia Southern, and then we play Purdue, and we got some games coming up here where a lot of building blocks are going to be set. And I think by the Ohio State game, Phil Longo was going to have some nice tricks up his sleeve. It's all about Mordecai getting comfortable under center, understanding everything. So it's great that he's a senior and he's been in college football for a couple of years. So I love the building blocks. I love that we still established the run. I like that we have some speed out there on the outside, and I really love the two tight ends. But the one thing that I want to see is a little bit more two running back sets. I think that could be something to watch.
That's fair.
That presents so many problems for the opposing defense with those two.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Malusi's talented enough. He's obviously a talented kid. He was a 5-star recruit, if I remember correctly, right?
It depends on where you look, but I think there was some place.
He was either a 4-star or 5-star by Clemson, but
right.
I think he's talented enough, throw him in the slot. See if a linebacker goes over there. He could be a linebacker in coverage, in my opinion. He's a talented kid.
I mean, shit, Longo probably didn't release the whole playbook yet either this past
That's what I'm saying, bro. October 28th, dude?
Yeah.
I have a feeling, dude, that we're going to be fucking shitting on some people.
We should go somewhere for that game, Jake, because you and I are going to be at the Wisco Collect event until 4. We should go somewhere after that.
Shit, why don't we just go to fucking game day or something, meet Mikey?
We should do that.
Let's do it, Mikey.
All right.
Minds.
Yeah. Plans forming. I like it.
People watching us make plans.
Yes. For the defense, really just some good plays and some bad tackling is what I'll say. More missed tackles really kind of helped Buffalo get their first touchdown. The tight end did beat, I don't remember who the defensive back was, but just beat him to the corner of the end zone.
It was
okay, because it was Latu on another possession who was in the backfield, had a chance to blow up a play and just missed the tackle. We did get kind of lucky with Buffalo missing a field goal, but towards the end of the half, a big run and a couple completed passes allowed Buffalo to threaten for points, and they got a 53-yard field goal that made the game 14-10 at halftime. It was in the second half. Latu was in the backfield on a screen, but he's got to make the tackle to finish the play. Chaney did do that on an option run. The quarterback was running, and he had the very traditional college quarterback halfback option. Chaney identified it, forced the pitch, made the tackle. It was a great play by him. Buffalo tried to hurry a wide receiver screen. Latu did get to that one, broke it up or wrapped it up, turned it into a loss 2. So that was a great play by him. Another quick screen that Buffalo tried to run. Chaney stopped short. The third touchdown was in the corner. Sorry, the third down touchdown was in the corner of the end zone. Both touchdowns were to that tight end. Turner was done for targeting, like Mike mentioned earlier. He's going to miss probably the first half of the Washington State game. And then Buffalo, towards the end of the game, had a really nice screen set up, and Forkorian knifed through to make a stop. So that was a great play by him. So I wanted to give him a little bit of credit for that. Really just the defense came down to me was just the tackling needs to be better. It was really my main takeaway from the defense. Mike, what about you from defense?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Tackling was like the main thing. And then I was frustrated too at the time. We talk about, the front seven, what was probably going to be our main concern going into this year was definitely mine. We didn't necessarily get too much. We didn't have any sacks. We didn't have any turnovers or anything. But another stat, I want to throw this out there. The average release time of the Buffalo quarterback, 2.16 seconds to get the ball out. So that is this past week. That is insane. Like, it was a lot of quick tosses and everything. So he didn't really, unfortunately, I don't think, get to see what the D line was really all about. There was a couple of QB pressures here and there, and in the stands, I'm just like, we need a sack, we need something. But no, that quarterback, did a pretty good job. Cole Snyder, I think his name is, but. No, he had it was a quick release. He got the ball real fast. And a lot of the guys that had to make plays were more so in our secondary and I guess our linebackers too. But yes, there were a lot of missed tackles. Unfortunately, this was definitely not Kamoy Latu's best game. I think Fickell kind of pointed that out as well in the press conference this week. But you know what? The good thing is, I mean, we have a loaded safety room. If, should we need to make adjustments, I don't think we do. This is just one bad game, and it's the first game of the year. Again, nobody expects your team to play clean week one. So yeah. I guess next game I'm looking forward to, because just watching, some Washington State film, they do have some form of an air raid. However, there are times where Cam Moore will sit in the pocket. So we are going to have, I think, an opportunity to see what the pass rush and even what our D line can do. When there's, when the quarterback's going to be dropping back for a pass.
Fickell did say he felt like the game was sloppy, and Latu we know can thump, but he just needs to use his arms with his shoulders. Mm-hmm. He really goes for that shoulder bump tackle, and he's got to do that while wrapping up. That's basically what it is, and I'm sure that's something that Fickell's going to go through in practice this week. So I'm confident in Kamoy Latu being able to bounce back from having a game where he didn't tackle very well. But Jake, what's out to you from the defense?
I'm going to tell you the problem with Latu. I'm going to take a lot of courses because I coach my son's team. The problem with that tackle that he missed, he led with the wrong foot, so that's why his balance was all off. So that's the first point. Second point, the touchdown he gave up. He was directly staring in the backfield, and that guy ran right past him. And I was like, "Oh, that's not a good look from a guy I just hyped up last week." He's, and I agree with Mike that we have one of the best safety rooms in the nation, and he's too talented. He's too good. I mean, he transferred from Utah, I believe, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to remember everybody, man, because there's so many in college football especially. So many freaking people move, and they're on like 3 teams now, and I'm like, where the hell did this guy come from now? Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay. So Utah for him. Utah is a pretty damn good team. Last like 5 years.
They are very good.
That stadium is crazy, and I love their red on reds. By the way, those are sick. But the defense, I'm not too worried. They did a good job. They held them to 316 yards. The time of possession, by the way, I forgot to bring this up with offense. We only had the ball for 30 minutes. They had the ball for 29-34, so it was almost dead even. We had 503 total yards. They had 316. So right there is a big, giant disparity in yards and time of possession. So the defense cleaned some things up. I think schematically, I like it. And I did not know that he was getting rid of the ball that quick, but I was definitely going to bring up pass rush, but I will hold on to it for one more week. Because I was a little disappointed. I was like, we're not really getting in the backfield, disrupting a lot of things, man. That's like you watch center. I watch D-line, man. Like, that's where my heart is, honestly. I watch D-line all day. When the ball gets released, I don't look at them no more, obviously. But, I'm watching D-line every play.
I feel like I watch the edges is what I like to watch.
Yeah, trust me, though. I was just as frustrated, like, in the stands, too, when it comes to, like, pass rush, because there was literally no signs of life, with getting pressure. Again, we got pressure eventually a couple times, but
even when we did, he was just throwing the ball away. It's not like he was holding on to the ball.
Yeah, he was really smart. The quarterback was really smart with it too at the end of the day. So No, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do.
So with the defense, it was interesting to see, Mikey, I don't know if you were able to see this from the stands, but when it's defense time, Luke Fickell takes a step back and Tressel is the first guy. Like Tressel is the one who is out there. Luke Fickell literally takes a step back and stands behind Tressel and lets Tressel coach the defense. So that didn't stand out to me. Basically, growing pains on both sides of the ball, and I'm going to go back to the offense with what I said during the primer. Tanner Mordecai needs work on the intermediate, but his short and deep stuff looked good, and that held very true, in my opinion, in this game. Both of the interceptions that he threw were on intermediate passes. He threw an absolute dime to Skylar Bell on a deep ball, and the one that he threw to Kimmeray DK was a little bit of a deeper pass. And all of the stuff around the line was caught. Will Pauling was 5 for 5. Braylon Allen had a new career high on receptions. I think what I said about Tanner Mordecai being good on short and deep passes held true, and he does just need to continue working on his intermediate. Now, with that, if he continues to get better at the intermediate stuff, the chains will continue moving, and we won't see the offense stall as many times as we did, like Jake brought up with the 5 punts. So that's where the potential lies, is in those intermediate passes. That can be a game changer for the offense as the season continues to go. Now, throwing the ball more as a team in general is going to increase the number of interceptions that are thrown. It's just the more you throw, the more opportunities you have for interceptions. Tanner Mordecai threw 12 last year and I think 11 the year before. So we should just basically accept that he's probably going to throw on average about 1 interception a game. It's just something we should really just get used to. Now, this game, Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi with the draw plays out of the pistol set. Now, the pistol set is a quarterback in shotgun with a running back right next to him. Oh my God, Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi were absolutely eating out of these sets. And that's one of the things that the air raid brings, is by knowing that you have an offensive coordinator who likes to pass the ball if you're going to give him the opportunity. And then, like Jake said, knowing that you have guys who, one of them is a massive dude who's also fast, and then having a dude who's shifty and fast, it sets the offense up for a lot of good things to take advantage to what the defense is giving you, which is what the air raid is about, taking what they're giving you. Last thing before we move on to the preview, third quarter offense for the Badgers. This is just the third quarter. 205 yards, 14 points, 13.7 yards per play. That's
I mean, helps when you have an 89-yarder on one play. So
we'll take it.
Yeah, but I mean, just if you were to just extrapolate that over a game, you're talking about 820 yards and 56 points.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. We can do that. Ohio State, no problem.
Done.
If they put up 56 on Ohio State, we're going to the college football playoffs.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
All right, let's start with Washington State. Mikey, what are you looking for from the Badgers offense against Washington State's defense?
You know, a lot of kind of like what Jake, brought up before in terms of like formations and stuff. I'm curious to see if, what else Longo brings out in this game, playing against I would say a tougher opponent for sure. Are we going to see these 2 running back sets in the backfield? Are we going to see, 4 receivers out at once? What else are we going to see from the playbook? That's what I'm going to look for offensively, just to summarize it. Hopefully, Tanner can
sample size, only having 1 game to go off of. So our early season previews are probably going to be a little bit shorter just because there's a little bit less to go off of.
Right. So that's the biggest call out for me, I would say. How much more does, Phil Longo have in the playbook that we haven't seen yet that, might come up this Saturday?
Cat was fucking with my shit. I had to fuck him up real quick.
All right. Jake, what are you looking for from the offense against Washington State?
Mikey, you bastard. I want the 2 running back sets so bad, dude. I kept
My
thinking,
bad, dude. That was too good for me not to bring up.
dude, I really want it because when I saw Malusi in space, we've seen it in years past too, right? And then you see Braylon Allen in space. Now you get a 6-man box with 2 running backs. I mean, we could do literally anything.
We've seen Braylon Allen in traffic.
Right? I mean, oh my God. But I want one other thing. And Tyler brought it up before. I don't know if it was you or Mike, but one of you brought up that we didn't throw many deep passes. We're going to need to stretch the field on Saturday. So hopefully they're ready for that.
Yeah.
For me on the offense, the low-hanging fruit is just Tanner Mordecai needs to be more consistent. That's really my main thing outside of what you guys brought up. So, Mikey, what are you looking for from the Badgers' defense against Washington State?
Containing Cam Ward by all means possible. I mean, 37 of 49 for 451 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. 13 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. I mean, the guy, keep him in the pocket and just contain the hell out of him, because if he gets out of the pocket, I have a feeling it could be a long day. We actually did pretty well against him last year at Camp Randall for the most part. But now that he's accustomed 1 year in the system, I'm sure obviously he's going to be a much bigger threat, I think, this time around. So, and it does help, though, I also think, because they do run a similar air raid as well. This defense should be ready for it for the most part. I mean, it's going to be stuff that they have seen in practice. So just seeing the similarities and how we can, overcome anything that's thrown at us, whether trick plays with Cam Ward or whatever. But no, I'm just looking forward to containing Cam Ward at the end of the day, because that's what the offense is.
Dude's gonna fuck around and get himself drafted.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I think he will, to be honest.
I think he will too. He'll be a late round flyer for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what are you looking for from the defense against Washington State?
I want us to hit Cam Ward. I want us to hit him again. And then I want us to continue hitting him until he understands that the ground is hard. Every opportunity that you get. Now, I'm not saying dirty, but
within reason. Yeah.
This is one of those games. If you close, a little shove on the shoulder, a little touch on the leg, let him know that you are there and you are close. This is one of those games the quarterback has to feel a little bit more sped up, because we're going to need him to make a few mistakes. Because last week against, who the hell did they play?
Colorado State.
I knew that. I was drawing a blank. Thank you for picking me up. He did not make mistakes. He was the best player on the field. No questions asked. He had a rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdowns. The guy was just everywhere, doing everything. It's just one of those games. Front 7, D-line. Every opportunity you get to knock him on his ass, you knock him on his ass.
Make him hear the footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention with the defense is no Jordan Turner in the first half. And then for me, I'm really actually focusing on the secondary. Like you guys are both talking about Cam Ward, and this ties in. Alex Smith was pretty good last week. Matry and Blaylock had their names called a couple times. I want to see some dog from Ricardo Hallman. One of my guys that I was excited for. I want to see him take that next step with his attitude. Because cornerback is one of those positions where you need some attitude. We know it from the guys in green and gold, having attitude at cornerback.
Look at all the top 5 guys in the league, man. They all got it. Jalen Ramsey, Sauce. You telling me Sauce Gardner isn't one of the most confident people you've ever seen in your life? I mean, look at friggin' Patrick Surtain. I mean, that guy talks like he's the best too. You got to think you're the best.
Yeah. So I want to see some dog from Ricardo Hallman in the secondary.
Yep.
All righty.
Yeah.
So,
and he did play. He did play all 71 snaps last week too, which was interesting. So that was cool. I mean,
he's there, and he, I don't think he made any big mistakes or anything last week. But
exactly,
I want to see Ricardo make his presence known.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Mikey, who is your X factor for this game?
I guess I'm gonna go actually. Tanner Mordecai is gonna be mine. Yeah, why not? I mean, Washington State knows the run is coming. We are going to run the ball. So I think going into it, I said this last week with Buffalo, at least in my mind going into the game, I honestly thought they were going to stack the box at first and make Tanner make some plays. I still am going to think that's going to happen more potentially with Washington State, probably because they got a few more athletes and they're going to make this kit guy throw because, there were times when Tanner wasn't looking good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Tanner can bounce back this week. And I think he's going to play a big part in us winning this game, to be quite honest. So I could see this being extremely high scoring. I could see this, just maybe Tanner only throws it 30 times is still a lot, but just making similar throws as to last week as his completions. I could see it going both ways, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he does bounce back to week 2 here.
Yep. Mordecai was my X factor as well. I just need to see him consistent. That was my thing. Jake, who's your X factor?
There's no other choice. It's Cameron Ward. It is. Cameron Ward is the X factor in this game. Everything that he does is going to determine how this game goes. And I 100% agree with you, Mike. This is going to be high scoring. And hopefully our defense makes enough plays, because in this new age offense, this new version of the college air raid, they make it easy. These dual threat guys, they can either run it, they can pass it. There's RPOs now that are getting integrated more and more in college football. They really make it easy for these kids to read, man. Spread everything out. You get one-on-ones everywhere, and they get the ball out quick. So this kid is very good at it. He's a very good college quarterback. I'm not saying what he's going to be in the NFL, but at Washington State, he can ball. So he's the X factor.
So I didn't talk about Cameron Ward a lot in the other parts of this, but he is my key to the game. My key to the game is containing Cam Ward. You guys talked about him a lot and brought up reasons why, but my key to the game is containing Cam Ward. Mike, what's your key to the game?
Can I agree to that too? I honestly think that's what it is, because Cam, the dude's a baller. Just looking even last year overall, he is their heart and soul of this team.
It makes the post easier for later in the week when I make the post. I'm sorry, but it's true. Ward. Makes it easy.
It's Cam Ward. There's no question about it. This dude's a freaking athlete. He can do it all, and he scares the living shit out of me, to be quite honest. Going into this game,
your key to the game is.
What was that?
I was going to guess what Jake's key to the game was.
Oh
no, mine is actually the D line controlling Ward and the run game, because they still do run the ball enough over there. So we're gonna have to contain that and not allow play action opportunities. You know how dangerous those can be.
Getting out of the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So when we do score predictions here on Wisco Fanatics, we do them 2 ways. We do one from the head, which is the more analytical score prediction, and then we do one from the heart, which is where, if we see everything goes right, what this can mean for our teams. So we do this for the Badgers and for the Packers. So, Mikey, if you had to give a score prediction from the head, what would your score prediction be?
I am going to, from the head, I think this is going to be the spread. I think as of today was -6. It's been bouncing up from 3.5 all the way up to 6 as of today, which is a pretty big jump. I don't think we quite hit that. I am going to go 31-27 from the head, Wisconsin. I think this is going to be, I think this is going to be very high scoring.
Mine is. Jake, what's your score prediction from the head?
It is at 6, by the way. I just wanted to double check you there.
6?
I don't think we're getting that either. My prediction from the head is 37-35.
Ooh, we are all very close. My score prediction from the head is 31-30.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Mikey, from the heart, if everything goes well, what are you looking for a score prediction there?
I'm going to go 35-20 from the heart. I'm looking forward to seeing what our defense can do. Can we create turnovers? We hyped up Cam Ward a lot just now, but the dude does turn over the ball as well. Last season, he definitely did plenty of times. So, from the heart, if our defense is what it was even last year, maybe even just as good, if not a little bit better, there's no reason why we can't get a few turnovers from this team, because they weren't even perfect last week against Colorado State either. They did a lot, but they also turned over the ball. I think it was once or twice, but 35-20 from the heart.
Jake, what about you?
I still have them scoring 30 because I think that offense is very good. But I have it scoring 41 to 30.
All right. My last one
nice.
is somewhat similar. My last one, mine from the heart, 38-28.
Ooh.
All righty. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. We got no Brewer game tomorrow, but we got Brewers on Friday. We got Badgers on Saturday, Packers on Sunday. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend. We said at the beginning of the show, Wisco Fanatics is getting very busy.
We
Prime time,
made
baby.
it. We fucking made it. It's
To
football
the
season.
Wisco Collect event that we will be at on October 28th, doing a live show, Wisconsin Sports What If. That is a 10 to 4 that event runs, so you can come see us in person and see the guys at Wisco Collect. We're going to interview some vendors, and we do also have to say, Cardboard Legacy is one of the vendors we're going to be interviewing. They are giving us a giveaway item for when we hit 5,000 followers on Facebook. We haven't decided exactly how we're going to run that contest yet, but we are inching closer. We are less than 90 followers away from 5,000 on Facebook, so we're excited about that. And we will see you guys then. Jake and I will be back on Friday night with our Packers primer, our bold predictions, our record predictions, and then a Bears-Packers preview. So we will see you guys on Friday night. Mikey, we will see you next Wednesday. If you are available to join us, we would always love to have you. So
yes, sir.
See you guys soon.
Take care.
Let's do it. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Go Brewers, on Wisconsin, and go Pack, go. It feels so nice to hear that in the same week.
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited. Let's kick this season off with a bang.
All righty. Tune in Friday night. See you then.
Yep. That's it.